Hi, today I'm gonna mill some 5x6 in my sawmill. These logs are milled for my neighbor Leif that lives not far from here. He's gonna restore an old floor in his shed. The shed is from the beginning of the 1800s. This winter when this is recorded, so there is some light snow outside and a few -degrees Celsius. We start with squaring up the logs, and this will give us some 1-inch boards. They are always useful for something. I have to run quite slow when the log is frozen like this. If I don't, I will have a serious diving of the saw band. The first couple of boards will become firewood. On a log this thick, normally the first 2 or even 3 boards will become firewood. This is the first piece that I save as a 1-inch board. So on this log there was 2 boards for firewood and 1 board that we save. Now we will flip the log and start with the next cut. After flipping the log, we need to lift the log in the front end a little bit, so we get out more wood out of the log. On this log there is about a 5-inch difference between the thick end and the thin end. So here we start milling again. I will now measure the log with the caliper to make sure that we have room for the 5x6 and to remove some of the bark. It doesn't matter if I have a little bit of live edge on this. And then I want to make sure that the saw band is not diving or dipping or something. And for this I use a straight aluminum board that made for the purpose. There is a few millimeter of dipping, but that's okay. So now we will flip the log and get started with the next cut. It's good to remove the supports when you don't need them. Every once in a while I run the saw blade into them, and that is not so good. On this machine I have made a protection, so if I forget them up it will stop. So then we are up and running again. The log is now 10 inches thick, so we will now remove some bark and then we will cut the log in the middle so we get 2 pieces of 5-inch material. Now we have cut the log in the middle. We will flip it over and start making 5x6. This log is now cut in the middle, so each cut here will generate 2 5x6. I am using the bump up so I can pass over the milled logs the whole time, but I can only make like 3 5-inch before it gets full under the saw head. So then we have to stop and put it on the trailer. And here it goes. Each one of these are quite heavy, so it's nice that we are 2 people today working with it. Unfortunately I run out of battery here, so there will be a new log rolling in when the camera is running again. Here comes the new log. They are quite heavy and a little bit difficult to handle, so it's really nice that we are 2 people today.
Jävlar vad mycket tjockare den här är i botten än vad den är i toppen. Ja.
This log had a lot of branches, and that makes it a little bit harder to mill because the saw blade will dive a little bit when it hits a branch. Well, here comes the log inside. It's important to remember to raise the log support. In other case, the log can just roll past it.
Ja, du är med. Jag med.
As soon as the log enters, we lower the hydraulic table immediately, because it's a little bit unstable to have this one here. And this went just perfect. So now I just need to pull it inside. Just watch my legs. And it worked just nicely.
Ska du försöka sätta på en sån där?
Ja, vi tar den här längst bak.
Ja, den här var inte så nedbild på.
Bara lyfta upp den längre också. Again, we have to adjust the height difference between the thick end and the thin end.
Jag tror det räcker faktiskt. Ja.
The same on this log. The first two cut becomes firewood, and the third one becomes a board. This log is so uneven because of all the branches that it's also a little bit difficult to flip and find the midpoint between the front and the back end. But here we go again. So, this is all for today. Please subscribe, and if you feel like it, hit the like button. That helps me a lot. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. And here comes my neighbor from Norway. He didn't realize that we are taping. So there was some greetings from Norway. And now we shut down.